The Scripps Howard Foundation is proud to honor excellence in the television and cable category for in-depth national and international coverage. Winners of the Jack R. Howard Award, the Investigative Fund at the Nation Institute, and the PBS Newsmagazine Need to Know for crossing the line at the border. The video didn't lie. An undocumented San Diego construction worker and father of 5 didn't suffer a fatal heart attack, as the Customs and Border Protection report said. He was beaten and tased to death by U.S. Border Patrol agents during deportation. Though the San Diego Coroner's Office declared the death a homicide, San Diego police declined to bring charges. Case closed. That was in May 2010. But in late 2011, a human rights group that works along the U.S.-Mexico border contacted investigative journalist John Carlos Frey, and the quest for justice began. Working with John Larson, Brian Epstein, Judith Starr Wolff, and Alexandra Nikolchev, the 5 produced a 2-part series, Crossing the Line at the Border, a joint project of the weekly PBS Newsmagazine Need to Know and the Investigative Fund at the Nation Institute. They brought context to the story by going back to 2007, when the Border Patrol was doubled in size, making it the largest single law enforcement agency in the U.S. By 2009, 8,000 new agents patrolled the border armed with rifles, handguns, tasers, and liberal use of force protocol. In the rush to fill the rookie positions, the Border Patrol had lowered its standards, deferring background checks and relaxing training regimens. In Part 1, the series used 2 videotaped accounts and eyewitness reports to describe the construction worker's death. Part 2 examined a culture of abuse that led to at least 16 other deaths in 2 years, all closed cases without criminal charges or even reprimands. The series has led members of Congress to call for an internal review and the United Nations to address what it called an international issue of concern.
It's different when you have voices on the one hand, on the other hand, people disputing, but when you come up with videos showing exactly what happened, it's an incredibly compelling story.
It's one thing to rely on official government documents. It's another thing not to just trust those documents as the sole source of your reporting, but to seek a better truth.
That's what I really look for in these things. Is there something else here besides just, a tragic story? And there's a real problem.
Presenting the Jack R. Howard Award for in-depth national and international coverage in the television and cable category, and $10,000 is Pamela Howard, a trustee emeritus of the Scripps Howard Foundation and daughter of Jack R. Howard. Accepting is John Carlos Frey, a reporter for the Investigative Fund at the Nation Institute.
Thank you very much to the Scripps Howard Foundation for this prestigious honor. And as you know, for those of you in broadcast journalism, it is a team effort, and the team is standing with me here. And for those of you who believe that long-form investigative reporting or long-form storytelling on national television is too expensive, we work pretty cheap. So 5 people work together who are standing with me. Brian Epstein, the producer, Alexandra Nikolchev, our researcher and producer, Judith Starr Wolff, our editor, and the incomparable John Larson as our correspondent, put together a story that was dead for 2 years. This had not seen the light of day. Revived the story, revived 16 members of Congress to write a letter to the Department of Justice, who currently has convened a grand jury and is looking at 12 Border Patrol agents who are culpable or possibly culpable in this matter. 5 dedicated journalists seeking justice after a story had been buried by the local media for a long period of time, and continuing to investigate the largest law enforcement agency that we have in this country. I am honored and proud to be associated with this team. I can tell you that as a freelance journalist working for the Investigative Fund at the Nation Institute, this was a story that was very difficult to find a home for. And I'm very grateful to Need to Know, PBS, and the people standing with me here on the stage to move forward with a story that nobody else wanted to tell. And the results are actually why we're all here. So thank you all very much.